So this is one of those projects which is a bit trial and error and very, very experimental. Now, I don't often do just like an acrylic painting, which is, well, abstract in nature, but sort of figural. There's no layer into this. I'm not using any stencils, I'm not using any stamps, I'm not using any tissue paper or anything like that. It's just going to be a straightforward acrylic abstract painting of some flowers in a couple of vases. So there's not a lot of real explanation that I can give you for this project. It's just a question of just sitting and watching as the paint goes down and watching the painting come together. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to play some music. I'm going to put up on screen the products that I've used, as you've already seen with the gesso, and then I'm just going to just join you again back at the end, because like I said, there's not a lot of real explanation that I can give you as to what I'm actually doing on the painting. But I will dip in and out if I think there's something that I can give you a bit of information on. So when it comes to mixing the background or joining the two colours together, the yellow ochre and the burnt sienna, I am mixing the ochre and the sienna on my craft mat and then painting it down just to add some lighter shades towards the middle. So what I'm creating is a kind of two-tone ombre effect, effectively, going from that lighter yellow ochre to the darker burnt sienna, and I'm not particularly bothered about the fact you can still see some of the watercolour card through the paint. I don't want to put on so much paint that it blocks out the entire of the watercolour, because I like that kind of sketchy, painterly effect that it gives you. So as you can see, I've used the white gesso again to create the shape of the vases that I want to add my flowers into, but I've toned it down from that stark white with a little bit of the paint that's on my craft mat, just to give it a kind of off-white look. And then I'm just mixing in some of the darker colour just to give it a little bit of a three-dimensional feel. So next I'm just going to take some of that Rose Madder paint and add a little bit onto my craft mat, and then take some of the white from the gesso just to turn it a little bit pinker. And then just using some of that acrylic paint on there, I've just created a few little dropped petals that are resting on the top at the base of the vases. And then just using what paint I've got on the palette there, on the craft mat, I'm just going to add a few highlights and just accentuate the shadows a little bit. And then I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to call it done, because I didn't want to, or I don't want to overwork this painting. I don't want that much paint on it that it's all caked and too three-dimensional. So, like I said, it is just an experimental piece, so I'm quite happy with the way it's turned out. It's turned out actually better than I thought it would, because I'm not very good at drawing. So this turned out better than I thought. So I'm happy, and that's all that really counts, really. So if you have enjoyed it, then that's absolutely fantastic. It's not something that I normally do. If you do want to see me do more experimental paintings like this, then please let me know in the comment section below the video so that I can plan those in future. So I'm just adding in the last touches, the last few highlights onto the painting, and then I'm going to call it done. So I'm fairly happy, like I've already said, so that's it. I'm going to call it a day. But of course, this is one of those projects that I may come back to at a later date and add more to it. So I may actually add some journaling up the sides of the vase or around the edges of the page. I may actually add a quote or a page title to it at a later date. But for the moment, I'm going to leave it as it is so that I can look at it and decide exactly where I want to go with it, if at all, with this painting. So that's going to be it. So I'm just going to give it that final dry, and then I'm going to sign it and then call it done. So if you have enjoyed the painting, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for today. I will see you all again real soon. Bye for now.